Yes! Yes! Finally, my favorite band! Woo! Hey guys, what's up? And today I'm gonna do a review on my favorite band's debut album, Pablo Honey. And by the way, I'm not sick. Not as sick as yesterday, so I'll record a video. In 1985, five Abingdon school students formed a band named On a Friday. The members are Tom York, Ed O'Brien, Phil Selway, Colin, and Johnny Greenwood. They practiced their band on every Friday, so they're called On a Friday. Later they changed their name to Radiohead, naming their band after a Talking Heads song. So after a lot of trial and tribulations, we have Pablo Honey, where the band members are still young and bright, in their early 20s. Tom York was an angry adolescent with a lot of insecurities. It is even said that he suffers from, that's right, depression. And with all these unhappiness and bitterness from Tom York's mind, they made an alt-rock album that's folk-flavored and a tad bit grunge-inspired. The album started with the simple but progressive track, You, with some bittersweet minor-major guitar riffs coming in and out of the scene, almost as if it acts as backup vocals for Tom York. Guitars aggressively rumbled as Tom York expressed with complete honesty, telling his love how much he wanted her now. That's my speculation. I'm giving this lovelorn opener a 7. Next up is Creep. But I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing here? I don't belong here. Which is the Yellow to Coldplay, the Muscle Museum to Muse, the Clint Eastwood to Gorillaz, the Neighborhood 1 Tunnels to Arcade Fire. It's the song that got Radiohead famous, and it's also a very controversial song because Tom York stole a bit of music from a man named Richard Hammond, apparently. But in my opinion, Radiohead got even more famous than Richard Hammond had ever been when they dropped Creep. And it does sound amazing, with Phil Selway's simple 4/4 drum beat and some guitars with a bittersweet chord progression, which I love a lot. And Tom York wails about how much he felt unworthy for his love, which is so damn relatable. You're so fucking special. I wish I was special. This line is something I've been wanting to say for a long, long time. We are insignificant and unimportant, and us compared to the person we want to be with, we are nothing. We are unworthy to be with our lover, and that's the painful feeling that the song explores, and it is done wonderfully. It's such a relatable song, and with the climactic ending where Tom York yells, I feel really connected with the song. I'm giving Creep a 9 to a 10 out of 10. Perfect score. Rounded off. Here you go. Despite how overplayed and overhyped this song is, I still thoroughly enjoy it. But the album moves on to How Do You, which is a bit of a downgrade with its overdone and impulse instrumentals, accompanied with some innocently angry lyrics, which doesn't feel that impressive. He wants to listen. He wants to read. And he was a stupid baby turned into a powerful freak. And it's also loud, but in a soft and shy way, which makes it sound a bit awkward. I'm probably gonna give it a 5 to a 6. Peaceful and calming guitars sweetly springed as Stop Whispering kicks in. Stop whispering, stop shouting, stop whispering, stop shouting. with Tom York's gentle but yet loud and expressive delivery. "Stop whispering, start shouting," says Tom. To the people who are too discreet and secretive with themselves. With direct lyrics and decent instrumentals, I'm giving Stop Whispering a 7. The pummeling guitars in Thinking About You reminds me a lot of folk music for some reason, and it's not too bad.
Been thinking about you, your red couture hair, your eyes on my wall, your teeth are everywhere, but I'm still no one, and you're not a star. What do you care?
And what do you care when the other men are far, far better? Another really relatable sentence that we would say all the time. Why are we so bad at being ourselves? Why are there always a lot of people that are better than me? Tom York spoke with his pure honesty and emotions in this song, but the song also feels a little bit too sappy. Maybe the vocals can be a little bit more organized, but I'm feeling a 6 out of 10. Chaos continued to swirl in a very young and small and harmless way. Anyone Can Play Guitar is another single from the record.
Destiny, destiny, protect me from the world.
The sneaky and deep, also constant bass line is really well synchronized with Tom's vocals. Destiny, destiny, protect me from the world. This line is sung in a very slow and patient way. Then the choruses came and it felt rushed.
If the world does turn, and if London burns, I'll be standing on the beach with my guitar.
And also the unexpected reference to James Morrison in the second verse makes the song deserve a meh 7. Another significant track in the album is Vegetable, with its sappy 80s slow jam kind of quality to it. Then the chord progression advanced itself to be more bittersweet, which makes the song slightly more interesting than I thought. I'm probably gonna give Vegetable a 6 to a 7 also. One of my favorites on this album, however, is honestly Prove Yourself, which is one of the most simple and straightforward but yet hard-hitting song from Radiohead.
I'm better after. I'm better after.
With all its teenage angst and anger, I really find the song expressive and potent. I'm better off dead. I'm better off. Da-na-na-na-na. Prove yourself. This transition between the verse and the chorus is really emotional, and I love it. It's really powerful. The thought of a better world with myself dead associated with how the world wants you to prove yourself so that you're actually worthy of existing. This is really relatable, and it's shockingly realistic. But of course, if Tom York thought he was talentless and useless before, look at him now. He's one of the greatest musicians of all time, in my opinion. I'm giving Prove Yourself an 8, honestly. And the weaker and lesser significant tracks like Ripcord, Lurgy, and I Can't doesn't really stand out to me. All of them deserves a good 6 in my opinion. It's still listenable, but it's not as solid as other Radiohead songs. On the song I Can't, Radiohead kinda impersonates the Smiths a little bit, and it's not too bad, but it doesn't stand out either. However, on the final track, Blowout, it's a big improvement.
In my mind, and then into my head.
Starting with this intricate and festive guitar work and the dangling drums, it's one of the most underrated Radiohead songs in my opinion. The band had brought this song texture, flavor, and it's such a relaxing, sweet, holiday kind of song that makes you wonder about life. The crazy, chaotic, droning guitars towards the end also marked a nice ending to the band's debut album. I'm giving Blowout a 9 out of 10. Overall, this album is really personal and painful in terms of self-esteem and thoughts about the future and love. Tom York says he suffered from depression, especially back in the early days, and I think it's pretty true given how forlorn and sulky the lyrics are. Although the instrumentals are listenable and acceptable, and there's nothing wrong with it, it just doesn't stand out that much, not compared with other music the band would make after their debut. And every track on this album sounds more and less the same with its folky sweet ballads and angry guitars. The vocals are often either whispering or shouting. There's not much variety in the album, which makes the album arguably the weakest and probably the most insignificant album in Radiohead's discography. Sorry guys. But actually there's a lot of songs on the album that surprises me too on how lovely and satisfying it is to the ears. And honestly, it's not too bad for a band's debut album. The worst is How Do You and the best is Creep. I'm giving Radiohead's Pablo Honey a solid 7 out of 10. So, have you listened to Radiohead's Pablo Honey? From 1 to 10, how much would you rate it? Like if you like and subscribe if you want more.